Look at that thing. Welcome back. Here's Apple's latest and greatest, thinnest and lightest M4 iPad Pro. But is it for you? Stay tuned, let's chat. Here's what I'm upgrading from. It's the 2020 iPad Pro, and do I have any complaints about it? No. It's still snappy, works perfectly. To me, it's just as thin, although we know on paper the specs shows that the M4 iPad Pro is thinner, but by what? Maybe 1/20th of an inch? I can't tell. Now the weight, can I tell? A little bit, barely. I mean, I'm not complaining about it, just do I notice it? The answer is yes, I do. However, it's so ever so slight compared to the M4 iPad Pro. Now the new Magic Keyboard is one of the reasons why people want to get the new M4 iPad Pro. The new Magic Keyboard has those function keys, for volume up and down, for brightness and so on. It's a little bit redesigned, so it's easier to access that charging port. It sits a little lower also. That could be a good or bad thing depending on your preference. And it has nicer materials. It feels nicer. So, do I like the new Magic Keyboard compared to the old Magic Keyboard? The answer is yes, but still my favorite keyboard case is still the Logitech Combo Touch. I reviewed and did a face-off between the Magic Keyboard and the Logitech Combo Touch. You could see the video right here. The new Magic Keyboard case makes the iPad top heavy. If you have the case on your lap, it'll tip over. See, I'm just using the brand new M4 iPad Pro with the Magic Keyboard, the new Magic Keyboard, and I could be typing on my keyboard using the trackpad here, but I'm just gonna let this go. Oh! When you buy a new product, especially an upgraded product from one year to the next, you're expecting new features. However, this year, Apple actually took away two features from their iPad lineup. Number one is the millimeter wave 5G cellular connectivity. That's gone. And then also, you'll see on my 2020 iPad, there's the regular camera, the wide camera, and the ultra wide camera. But this year, the ultra wide camera is gone. So, does it matter? In my book, not really. I don't use the camera on my iPads. Maybe many other people do. So it doesn't matter to me, but it might matter to you. So just keep that in mind when you're buying the new M4 iPad Pro for cellular connectivity. No millimeter wave 5G and no ultra wide camera anymore. Now let's talk about one of the hottest things about this new M4 iPad Pro, and that's the display. The display has a tandem OLED display, and I'm sure you've heard that plenty of times on other YouTube videos, so I'm not gonna go into it too much, but the question is, when comparing against my 2020 iPad Pro, do I notice the difference? The answer is yes, I do. Now, I'm not an artist, I'm not really a creative. I just use my iPad for watching videos, looking up the news, reading magazines, surfing the web, kind of easygoing things, maybe some light productivity and responding to emails. So for my use case, I do notice it. I definitely do notice the brightness. There's a 400 nit brightness difference between my 2020 version and the 2024 iPad Pro. But if you use it inside most of the time and you're not under those bright office fluorescent lights, I don't think you really notice that much of a difference. You might notice a small difference, but will it make that much of a difference to you? That's really up to you. It's a preference thing. To me, I notice it, but it's not a huge deal for my use case. Now, what about that M4 chip? Sure, it's plenty faster than what's in the 2020 iPad Pro, but unless you're exporting videos from Final Cut or your favorite video editing program, it really doesn't matter. My 2020, now remember, there's a couple of generations between the 2020 iPad Pro and the M4. You have the M1 version and the M2 version. So talking about my 2020 version, I still don't really notice a difference. My 2020 is plenty fast. Now, one other noticeable change is the move of the camera from the top to the side. It's now in landscape mode. Now, a lot of people love this. They've been waiting for it to change the camera from portrait to landscape. I personally don't care. I might be one of the few that holds the iPad in portrait mode more often than landscape mode. So what happens when I'm holding it in portrait mode is that my hand covers the camera. So if I'm trying to access something and it needs that face unlock, it's not going to work. It keeps saying that the camera's covered. Move your hand. And so it's a little bit more of annoyance for me on the new M4 iPad Pro compared to my 2020, which also is the same for the M1 and the M2 version. Overall, the M4 iPad Pro is the latest and greatest iPad from Apple that screams premium with high-tech guts and glory. However, my iPad 2020, which is very similar to even the 2018 version, isn't crippled by any means and does everything I need it to do. Now, if you're an artist or a creative, then perhaps this is a worthy upgrade for you. However, if you're not an artist or a creative, I don't see the need to upgrade if you're coming from a 2018 or a 2020 iPad Pro, although I know you really want something shiny and new. So if you just want that something shiny and new, or if you're an artist or a creative looking to get into the M4 iPad Pro, click on the link in the description below to have a fast delivery made by Amazon. Also, check out my video where I review the Logitech Combo Touch against the Magic Keyboard. Thanks for watching.